small plank wagon for this ideally, so I'm going to use this old trying wagon for my tender. So if you don't like seeing old trying wagons butchered, you maybe want to look away. I'm going to use my hot wire to cut this once it gets hot enough. Alright, I'm not too happy with that. I've taken a bit too much off there. I'm just going to spray some water on this. Bit of super glue, bit of baking powder, bit of super glue and a bit of baking powder. Hi again folks, how's it all doing? Welcome to part 2 of tenderising this little 040 locomotive. Off camera I found some other crank pin screws that have got much longer shoulder on them. Just get the endoscope in. So that's one of the screws I was going to use. But I found a couple of these. Same thing, but they've got a much longer shoulder on them, and that's going to be much better because it's going to allow me to drop this drawbar down a bit, because the way it was going to be, it was going to be hitting the underside of the coupling. I mean, I could remove the coupling, but I don't particularly want to, just in case somebody ever wants to revert this back to the locomotive only. So I think that'll work using these screws with a longer shoulder. I mean, you could use screws without a shoulder. It's not vital to have a shoulder on the screw, but certainly better to if you can find them. This should be well and truly set now, so we'll drill into it and make a hole to accept that screw. So, get the endoscope away. I'll just drill into this very carefully. Should do it. Right, is that going to go in there? Nope, it's not quite big enough. I need to order up some new drill bits of varying sizes. We need to open it up a wee bit yet. Right, how's that? It's looking better. There we go. So that now screws into there. Just take it out just now. So that should allow me to screw this on. There we go. Where's the weight for that? Right, okay. Put that in there. Right, what I think we'll do is we'll try this on the layout just to make sure that it goes round curves and points and things okay before we do anything else. Okay, quick test. Seems absolutely fine. Okay, so that drawbar works fine. What we'll do is disconnect it for now, because we've got a bit of work to do in it yet. and we'll see how the coal load is going to work out. So it's set nice and hard. So the moment of truth, let's gently lift this out. Like that. Just going to peel away. Yeah, I thought we might have some PVA still to set underneath. So we'll need to let that dry out. But that's going to work. So the next thing is to think about adding pickups to this. Now I bought a load of these off eBay quite cheap. These are the pickups you can buy from DCC Concepts. And you know, they look as if they'll do the job, but I'm a little bit concerned that the wiper pickups aren't really springy enough. They're quite stiff, and if you bend them, you know, they kind of stay put. So I'm not sure. We'll give them a go, but I've got a funny feeling they're going to act like brakes, and over time they'll stop touching the wheels. I think guitar string might be a better option. That's what I did on my own one. See, as it is, if I put that pickup in there, I'll get the endoscope in here. So at the moment, with that pickup in place, you know, that wheel is really stiff. So we need to adjust the pickups so there's less resistance, but so they'll still maintain contact. Just push this back so they're just touching the wheel. Yeah, I think they might work. So I'll get these in position. About there. And then we'll drill a hole. Get that out of the road. And we'll get a little screw to fix that in. Right, try one of these little screws. Fitting pickups is a fiddly job no matter how you do it. And I thought it would be a lot easier with these little DCC concept things, but no, it's still fiddly. Oh, it's stuck. Come on. Get in there. Stay there. There. Okay, so that's one set of pickups fitted. Need to do the same for the other ones. Now here's a wee problem. So I want to fit a pickup here, same as that, but this is in the way. Yeah, I think we'll just have to cut that off. More butchery. Just take this wheel out just now. I wasn't expecting fitting these to be quite as fiddly as this. adjust this one a bit. It's still acting too much like a brake. I want this to free wheel, don't want the wheels to drag. So that's those pickups installed, but I can't say I'm hugely impressed with them. I think they put too much resistance on the wheels, and I don't think they'll be all that reliable, to be honest. They're not springy enough. I'll go and get my other 04 and I'll show you the pickups I put on that. So what I've got here is 2 pieces of guitar string with wires soldered to them and screwed to the body, and they just go down and touch the insides of the wheels. So essentially doing exactly the same thing as these ones, but the guitar string is much springier. It will always spring back to where you set it. And you know, with a bit of fiddling, you can get it to touch the wheels just enough, you know, sort of minimal contact, but it will maintain contact. Whereas these things, you know, these will eventually stop touching the wheels, I think. Well, we'll see. We'll give them a go. I mean, these are certainly neater and easier to install. You know, you just screw them in and then solder the wires there and there and there and there, and away you go. But yeah, I would like to have seen these made of a much thinner, springier metal. So, pickups in place. What will we do now? I suppose we should really think about running the wires from the locomotive. There we go. Off that comes. We want to take a wire from each terminal of the motor and route it down and through to come out there. Should be simple enough to do. These rods are a bit bent, so we'll use some of this really thin wire. Got a couple of lengths. That. Strip it one end just now. Never use single core wire for anything like this because it will just break. So I think we'll route it down through there. There's my tweezers. Through there like that. Same with that one. So feed that through there. And we shall solder that onto there. And then we'll feed that under there. Solder that onto there. Solder that onto there. Solder that onto there. So now, pull those wires through, like so. When we've got that open, we'll get some silicone grease onto that worm gear. Now, what we have to do is attach them to these pickups. So, I think what we'll do, a couple of options here. So, I need to connect these wires to the pickups, but yeah, I think we'll drill a hole just in there, and then the wires can come either side of this little post, go through there, come up. We could come down through that hole there and then connect to the pickups. So time to get the drill out again. There, that's it. And those wires will now go up through there, like that. And then they'll come down through there, like so. Now, the problem we will have is this weight. Yeah, I wasn't quite thinking about that, was I? That weight's going to be there. Right, I think what we'll do is drill two smaller holes either side of this weight for the wires. There. One there. Need to test which wire's which, but that should allow me to get that up through there. And what we'll need to do is twist these wires like so. So now the weight can go in, the wires can go back down through those holes. Like so. Okay, I need to figure out which wire is which. I'll just strip the ends a wee bit. And there's a simple way to do this. Put it on the test track. And we'll take this wire. We'll block the locomotive. We'll turn on the power. This bit of rolling rod would be quite handy actually. Now just touch each rail and that shorts it. So I know that this wire wants to connect to this side. So I shall put, what will I do? Well, I know what I'll do. I'll snip that one. So I know the one with the exposed wire on the end fits on this side. So I've got my wire connected from the locomotive. I've got my drawbar in place. I know which wire is which. I've got my wheels installed, pickups in place, drilled a few holes, one of them unnecessarily, and I've got my little makeshift coal load, which is now stuck. Should come out easy enough. Here we go. It's now dry. I think that's quite a good way to make a coal load, using polystyrene, some cling film. I mean, I won't have to take this out very often, but I wouldn't want it permanently fixed in there. Another thing we'll have to do is paint this up, weather it a bit, and cut an area out the front, and we'll put a little plate on the back of the locomotive as well, and add some crew. But it's beer o'clock, so I'm going to call this the end of part 2. Catch you later, folks.